Welcome everybody. Thank you all for being here. It's a special day for us here in the Southern Hemisphere, as it's Anzac Day. So there's been a lot of Anzac parades and honouring the people the men that passed away, and also the others in other wars as well. And I know that some of you here have had fathers or grandfathers or relatives that have been in World War I, II or other wars. So although tonight's subject is about more light, it's really important to acknowledge these people and what they've done for us, and why they did what they did. My father was a peacekeeping troop in Palestine in 1948 or 9. And I know that it heavily affected him, what happened there. And of course it affected many generations afterwards because of how they were as fathers, or weren't able to be fathers in the way that they probably would have been had they not experienced that. So a special acknowledgement to them tonight, and a special acknowledgement to all of you for being here. Thank you so much. And also for everybody who's joining us from other sides of the world at all hours of the day and night. You have different dates where you honour, I think it's May Day in England, Liberation Day. That's in May, so that's coming up soon as well. And I also want to take a moment to acknowledge those that are still in war and conflict at the moment. So tonight, Amora is going to do a beautiful big healing session for all of us, which is wonderful. So I'm going to begin, as I always do, doing a short meditation and breathing exercises to help you relax and let go of the busyness of the day and all the things that you may have been doing today, things that you need to do tomorrow, the busyness of life, but also the strange energies that we're feeling at the moment. I'm not sure how it is over in the Northern Hemisphere, but here there's definitely been a strange feeling in the air at times where you don't even hear birds singing. So yeah, there's a feeling of unsettled energy at the moment around. So we'll begin with our meditation. And so I'll just invite you to all close your eyes and take some slow, deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. So just closing your eyes. Breathing in, receiving life. Breathing out and giving to life, the inward and the outward breath. Breathing in, receiving life, breathing out and giving to life. And we're setting our first intention to release any pain, any stress, any tension that we're holding consciously or unconsciously. Sometimes we've held things for so long that we're not even aware, it just becomes a normal way of being. So we're just setting that intention. We don't need to know how. Activating the third eye and just visualizing the ceiling is made of glass. And the light of the moon or the sun, depending on what time of the day it is when you listen to this, is pouring into the room, filling the room with light. And we're using this light, we're taking it in, we're breathing it in. And we're using the light to detect any imbalances, any disharmony, any stresses that we're holding in our body, and allowing the light to gravitate towards those areas and to very gently allow them to move out of our energy field, out of our body, and into the center of the room, forming a cloud. This is just a really good opportunity to check in with yourself and notice how you're feeling. Notice where your mind is. Notice where your body is. Notice if you've got any tension or stress or emotions that you're holding in your body. And again, through our third eye, we draw the light down through the top of our head, through our face, eyes, nose, ears, lips, jaw, throat, right down into the shoulders, down through the arms, into the fingertips. Releasing any pain, any stress, any tension. Through the back of the neck, the shoulders, down through the back, down into the middle of the back, the lower back, the buttocks, down through the legs, into the feet, releasing any pain, any stress, any tension. Now, just you might have some challenges in your life at the moment. You may have some conflict going on or some issues happening in your life, problems that you are needing to resolve or decisions you're needing to make, or things that are causing you some form of distress or diseasement. And we're just acknowledging where they are and noticing it. And again, we're not letting go of the issues or the action. We're just letting go of the stress or the emotion or the pain that it's causing us. We're just putting it all up onto the cloud. And anything that's been happening in your community, any challenges that you've been facing personally, collectively in your community, in your country, or just things that are happening in the world at the moment. We take a moment to release any of those thoughts or emotions that we're holding, worries that we might be holding up onto the cloud. And just give you a moment just to scan again your body, your energy field. Notice if there's any irritations, any frustrations, any anger, any fear, anything that's taking away your peace and your stillness. I just acknowledge it, and very slowly we begin to breathe and release it up onto the cloud. Anything else that you would like, any people in your family, people you're working with, people in your community that are going through pain, illnesses, or challenges. Just take a moment to release anything that we're holding for them. Now we're going to start to blow this big cloud out of the room, up towards the ceiling and up over the building of where you are at the moment, higher and higher up into the sky, past the planets and the stars. We release this big cloud up into the darkness of the night, past the planets and the stars. Until you can see the biggest, brightest star in the sky. And we're going to release, breathe it out through our intention, through our breath, through our vision, to be transformed with love. we don't know how to do that or need to know how to do that, we trust the Great Spirit will do this for us through grace. Now we take a moment to bring our attention to our heart and just feel our heart pulsating in the chest. Notice your heartbeat, if it's fast or slow. Notice if you can fully breathe into your heart. Notice if you're feeling any anxiety, any frustration, or just if you're feeling peaceful, that's really good. We're just setting the intention to be open to receive energy, wisdom, love, healing, clarity, anything we may need for our highest good and also for our physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being. Open hands, open mind, open heart. Open hands, open mind, open heart. We take a moment to acknowledge everybody that's joining, whether they're here in this moment or joining at another time, and the love and the beautiful connection for coming together, for healing, for transformation, for growing, for being a more loving and peaceful person, and being able to contribute to our world, our community, our planet. We send a little blessing to each one of us here. I see you. Thank you. We take a moment to open to our own intention for the evening. Maybe some healing, maybe some clarity, maybe some action steps that are needed. And if you're not sure, then openness, open hands, open heart, open mind. And so as we're starting to move into our next stage, we have a moment to invoke and invite our healing team. Only the highest vibration of love and wisdom and truth can enter our space. And we're starting to bring these light beings into our energy field, feeling a circle of light around you. I call on the 4 archangels, Michael, Gabriel, Uriel, and Raphael, to bring 4 pillars of light into the room you're in. So you're held in the pillars of light, and within the pillar is a circle of light around you. And this light spirals right up into the ethers and right down into the earth. And held in a loving and safe environment. So just taking a few more deep breaths, slow deep breaths, moving into gratitude. And when you're ready, take your time. I'd just like to invite you to light your candle and just hold it in your hands for a moment in front of you. And they're just going to have a moment of stillness and a moment of peace, a moment of prayer. To our ancestors. And for all those still in the world that are in war and famine, political, social unrest, displaced also through climate change and other things that are happening, we just send a moment of prayer and compassion to them. You might want to see your heart fully opening and just seeing that light, that candlelight in your heart, expanding and expanding. And seeing it moving around the planet Earth. And there might be a particular country or area that you feel you want to dedicate your candlelight, this moment of peace. And to hold as much as you can in this moment, peace in your heart. To be peaceful. And to know what it feels like to live in peace, despite what's going on around. To be able to hold that peace. With every breath, just feel that light expanding in your heart. And expanding around the world. Take 3 more very slow, deep cleansing breaths. And we have a moment of gratitude for this beautiful moment to come together in peace and in love, in respect. And just put your candle wherever suits, to the left or to the right of where you're sitting, and leave the candle burning. I'm just going to invite you that when we finish our session tonight, as some people have done already, just before you get up, even after Amora's left and I've left, you might just want to have a minute to yourself with the candle, 5 minutes or half an hour, however long, just to integrate some of what we're going to be doing together. As always, there's a strong possibility you might fall into a yogic sleep, but you will get the recordings and opportunities to listen to them again. So thank you all for being here, and I'm wishing us all a beautiful, peaceful and healing night. And I'd like to call in Amora. And as I'm calling in Amora, and invite all of you to please be still and to just call in love, call in Amora, the light of love, and also what love is to you. You might have your own specific guide or teacher that you'd like to bring into this space, of course. So we'll just have a moment to do that. Thank you. Yena la khala shukhna hema la khala taye koshahina mahula kaya hema la khana shuhla hesiana kohla sha maya naya kula shaye isianu hula Piatia Kishana Maya He Sara Maya. Greetings, my dearest, beautiful, beloved friends. Welcome indeed. What a pleasure to come and share this time with you. And indeed, my beloved ones, very important time and very deep work that we are doing together. You know, tonight we are focusing on light and shining your light brighter. And I've often said to people when they've told me about some of the traumas and challenges that they are facing and they're living in, or particular difficult people or challenging people that they may have to interact with in the family or in the workforce or in the community, that it is important to shine your light brighter whenever you feel you are being challenged, whenever you feel that you are losing your power, or when you are feeling that there doesn't seem to be a way of being heard or having what you need met or what you want met or what you're hoping to achieve or contribute, finding a way of allowing it to happen. So what does this actually mean to shine your light brighter? Well, this is a challenge, is it not, my friends? Because often in society, in life, you have learned that when you feel under attack, or when you feel that you have no choice, when you feel that you are invisible, that you either want to withdraw or fight, you know, battle or defense. And this, of course, is the old energy that has been playing out throughout history in how one person dominates another, one culture, one country, one tribe, one race, one religion, and then someone else has to go away and either withdraw and become resentful, or shut down and whittle away. And this has often been the cycles. So although I know we're going to be working with some beautiful energy tonight, I really think it's important to talk about this for a few minutes, because none of you have been, if you like, able to avoid this in your life at times. It is important too, carrying on from our beautiful ceremony, the water ceremony, that you will start to see a theme with many practitioners and many in the healing arts, or many teachers focusing on ancestral healing at the moment. And this is an important, very important work. It always has been. But remember, there's always a timing for something. There's divine timing. And there is a collective timing now. So as individuals, you have all been on a healing journey. Some of you, many, many years, 20, 30, 40 years, 50 years, more than that. And you have been working at understanding some of your own inner challenges, or limitations, or fears, or phobias, and where they've come from, and looking at past life energy, present life energy, family energy, and being, if you like, the child, working through the inner child side of things, regarding the trauma that you may have inherited from how your parents were or not able to be for you because of what they inherited from their parents and parents before that. And of course, for many of you here, you have ancestors that have been in one or two of the wars. And of course, that has affected profoundly the male energy. For those of you that are men, this has affected you in your ability to open your hearts to receive full love, to trust in your journey, to be softer, to be intuitive, to be peaceful, to not feel unsettled or cautious. And for many of the women here, this has affected your relationships with men, your husbands, your partners, your brothers, and men in authority as well. Because of course, men that have been in war and conflict, or that have inherited a long lineage of that, have had to learn how to live with that. And you know, dear ones, inherent in all of you is the life, is life. The soul is here to live, is here to create. It has a force inside of it that can endure so much and does to live a life. So it is not inherent in a soul to want to kill or to not live or not have their own life. So to do this, it takes a lot of energy, and it also takes a lot of shutting down of the heart, shutting down of vital energy of creation, creativity, inspiration, motivation, and the ability to live a magical life. So this has been, if you like, a legacy that many of you had inherited in one way or another, and again have been working at, looking at your parents as not as gods, but as people, and recognizing that their challenges, looking at them as they were and not how the child may have seen them to be, but seeing them for the challenges of what they inherited and how they did not have the abilities or the opportunities to process a lot of what happened, or the opportunities to do that. So now collectively, it has landed with you, my friends. And now that you have done such huge work in your own lives, you are the next step of this collective human healing is about ancestral healing, is about the wounds of the warrior, if you like, the wounded warrior. And through this becomes a new consciousness, which you've all been beginning to develop very beautifully as you have continued on your own journey. But now, dear ones, you are being asked to stop for a moment and do some work in service for your family and your ancestors. And yes, you have done some of this before, but not quite in the same way that we're going to be doing it tonight, and what we began together in our last ceremony. And this, dear ones, even though you may not be totally conscious of what they went through or what happened to them, there is a lot that you subconsciously carry in responsibilities of how you've taken things on, and sometimes guilt for things that are not yours, desires and wishes that are not yours, or unfulfilled potentials that haven't been achieved because you have been asked to do something from what the family had expected of you. So as we begin to work on this deep healing this night, and we begin to bring more sunlight into your life, this will start to bring more of a vitality. It will start to shift your creativity, your health and your well-being, your vibration, your frequency, your ability to create, your ability to be peaceful, your intuition, which will grow, and of course, solutions and ideas that you may have never thought possible, not only to things that you're living through, but things that are coming to you within your work or family or community, or within your country that you are living in and incarnated in, or have been brought to now. So this is a very powerful time of collective ancestral healing, and we're going to work with this tonight, and we're going to bring in more and more light, more and more sunlight. So the sun is where you shine. I've said this before. In your astrology, they call it star sign. It's your sun sign. The sun is your gifts of what you mastered in a past life, in your soul's journey. So if you were to look at what you are, and you look at the positive traits of that, because each sign also has the ability to be retrograde, going forward, going back, going this way, going that. But that is where you shine. That's your mastery. And where it is in your life will have been the area of your life where you shine. Now, remember, this is moving and changing all the time as the wheel of karma begins to move through your life every day, every week, every month, every year. by the different influences of different planets. You've just been through a very big solar eclipse, and you've got coming up now a lunar eclipse. So you could say that the solar energy is the male energy of your father in some ways, and the lunar energy is the feminine energy of your mother in some ways. So these are the emotional traits of how you experienced them, and maybe how this has affected you in how you engage with this energy in your life. So as we begin to bring in more light and to realize the power of the sun, which is part of your consciousness, part of the particles, the neurons, the atoms, all of the little parts of your particles that are you are part of the sun, then you know that the power of the light transforms the darkness. I had one person say to me once, you know, who had a lot of anger and had a lot of resentment, and was finding it very difficult to let go of some of the people that had wronged him in his life. And I talked to him about seeing this energy as clouds of, like I do, use the analogy of black clouds, and to move it into the sun of the heart. And he said to me, why would I put all that darkness in my heart? Why would I put all that rubbish in my heart? And it was interesting for me to see how he was relating what I was saying, how he wanted to keep these things separate, the light and the dark. He didn't want, he wanted to keep these two things in different compartments, and didn't quite understand, hopefully eventually did, that by bringing the darkness into the light has the power to transform the darkness. But he was afraid that the darkness was going to suck out all of his light and all of his sun and all of his vitality. And this is interesting because people do experience feelings like that sometimes through depression and mental health, and also emotional overwhelm or physical illnesses. But remember, my beloved ones, the darkness of the energy is coming into other aspects of the auric field, and it is like, if you like, sucking the energy out. But it cannot do that in the heart. It is the only place it cannot penetrate your loving, vibrant heart. But your heart has to be open, and your heart has to be radiating. And for some of you, it might be a little flicker. For some of you, it might be a big flame. But that is why I'm continually reminding you to daily meditate on the heart and the flame of light within your heart, because this has the power. This is where the solutions are. This is where the healing is. It's many try and work it out in the mind. The mind criticizing and judging isn't giving you the ability to, or the opportunity to access the greater, divine, most powerful and magnificent true essence of whom you are. So the power of the heart, my beloveds, the power of love has the power to transform the darkest, most painful of hurts, regrets, memories, experiences, and to bring you peace. And dear ones, all of you need more peace, more love, not less. So tonight, this is my focus. And today I did my best to shine on you, all of you, wherever you are in the world. Hopefully you felt some of that light glimmering in on your day at different points of the day. Some of you might have seen it physically as the light came into your house or your garden or wherever you were. And others of you might have just felt a warm glow in your heart or a feeling brushing against your face. Sometimes I like to touch your faces and just let you know I'm with you and give you some physical, tactile experience. So my friends, this is a brave and courageous work. This is you helping your ancestors. This is you changing your DNA. as you change this in your mind, you change it in your DNA, you change it in your physiology, you change it in your neural pathways. And that affects your children, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren to come, but not just your family lineage, but the family, the human family, and all that dwell upon your beloved earth. So I thank you for your courage and your commitment and your willingness to be here tonight and to be open to what I'm guiding you into. Remember, we never ask you to do anything you're not willing to do or ready to do. So at any time you feel uncomfortable, I just invite you to speak to me telepathically, and I will do my best to bring a message back to you telepathically, energetically, or with some kind of visual image that will help you in that moment. So my friends, have a little sip of water. Get yourselves as comfortable as you can. And we begin with the breath. Slow, deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. The sun, the great radiant light of Ra, Amora, of the great central sun. The sun split the water and created oxygen, which gave you the breath of life. The sun brought the light to allow the trees to transform carbon dioxide into oxygen and to air. The sun brings with it its healing rays that help with the tides, with the weather patterns, protect you from radiation by creating the thunderclouds, the lightning, the storms when needed to bring the rains. So in your mind's eye, I'm going to invite you all to see that old wooden door between the inner and the outer worlds, that beautiful wooden door that you've been through so many times. And when you're ready, dear beloveds, we're going to open the door and step into your beautiful garden. And today the garden is even brighter than ever before. The sun is pouring into the garden and through the trees, lighting everything up very magically. And to the left, there is a little pathway that goes through a grove of trees, and it starts to elevate until you are on a little hill. And just on the top of this hill is an incredibly beautiful rainbow tree. It's full of prisms and it glows in the light. There's the leaves that hang from the tree, different shades of magenta and purples and blues and pinks and golds, greens. This is the most beautiful tree. It seems to change from looking like a crystal tree to looking like an earth tree to looking like some kind of extraordinary, majestical tree. And it has beautiful big branches reaching up and out and all around. You can also see the big roots around the bottom of the tree, and they go deep down into the earth. Some of them pop up further down the hill. This is a very beautiful tree. Now, this is your ancestral spiritual tree, my beloveds. So this is the ancestors of every incarnation that you've had on this earth. And as you look up into the sky and you can begin to see further than ever before, You can see where the light moves into the darkness, and you can see the planets and the stars orbiting in the sky. And as you look at these planets and you look at these stars, you are reminded there are more lives, more ancestors than there are stars and planets. And I want to invite you just to take a moment to acknowledge the tree with your heart. This tree has been standing here, has been going through all the different journeys of life, death, rebirth, new beginnings, endings, healing, creation, letting go. And each branch, each leaf, each piece of fruit or flower on the tree is a part of a life, of a journey that you have had, or one of your family members has had at some point. And as you look up, my beloved ones, you focus the sun high in the sky, pouring down and filling the tree with even more light, and feeling that sunlight on your face. And feeling, as you do, standing here, we're going to invite the sunlight to penetrate through your energy field, through your auric field, through every atom and every neuron, so that your light body your physical body, your emotional body, your mental body, your spiritual body is absolutely bathed in light. And every little cell is rejoicing. Every little cell is full of light. Inaya kulasha, yanaya kulatia, enamayasha, kiranilana, shuhe kurashani, hayalayena, maeta ulashana, ikiratu saye. And as you look at the tree, it begins to form a face. You can see the eyes, you can see the smile. This beautiful tree, you begin to see the life force of not only it as a tree, but as a light being within the tree. And where its mouth is, begins to form a doorway. And the doorway opens, and you are invited to step inside of the tree. And as you step within the tree, my beloveds, it's as though you've walked within a sphere of glass, the silence and the peace within this tree. You look up and it goes up and up and up, this big tunnel of light. And just as you think you can't possibly see any more light, it gets brighter and brighter. And your energy field is beginning to adapt and orient itself so that it's able to receive more light. It's almost like a dial within your DNA, within your energy field, is starting to tune up. It's starting to tune up and become brighter and brighter and brighter. You begin to sit. You are sit down inside of the tree with your back against the trunk and your feet on the earth inside of the tree, where there's this hollow where you're sitting. And now the tree begins to activate your base chakra, the base of your spine. You start to feel a tingling and a pulsation. And this begins to move down through your legs to your feet. And then you start to feel your legs, your feet, your buttocks, all sinking into the earth and becoming part of the earth. And as you start to allow this light within your spine to go deep, 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 deep down into the core of Mother Earth, like an anchor point, like a root. And then, like giant hands, the roots clamp down into the center of the earth. And up through the earth comes this other vibration of the inner earth, of Gaia, bringing her magnetic fields of light. And this also comes up into your base chakra. And as we focus on your base chakra, my beloved ones, we start to focus on your physical body. Any ailments in your physical body, any tensions, any stresses, any pains, any diseasements. And feeling, if you can, to allow beloved Mother Earth, Gaia, to bring her magnetic field of light from the crystal kingdom. And you're drawing it up like water through a plant into your base chakra. And the sunlight is coming down through the tree. So you're having light coming from the sun, and you're having light coming from the earth. Now, as this is happening and you're receiving some healing for your physical body, and this energy is going to now go where it needs to go, whether it's your muscles, whether it's your bones, whether it's your organs, whether it's your skin, whatever physical part of your body needs healing is to receive with your permission. And as this is happening, you'll feel this light again expanding and pulsating through your body. And how open are you to receive, my beloved friends? Open to receive. And as this is occurring now, we take our focus to our belly, to our navel chakras. And we ask to see our relationships, our friendships, our parents' relationship, and how that influenced us. Grandparents, great-grandparents, if you're aware of them, we invite them to come forward, to step forward. And bringing through the healing, my beloved friends. Allow the light, the sun to come and fill up and offer the love, offer the light. Any conflict or challenges in your family, friendships, work colleagues, intimate relationships, to bring in more light. And just to open yourself to receive, dear ones, as much light as you can. And allow them to show you what it is that they need to free them. To give them back their power, but to also take back your own. Acknowledging their dreams, their sadness, their happiness. The time that they had, and acknowledging that time has gone in regard to you and your life and what your journey is. Bringing in more love, more light. Inamaye sayekola shanaye so inalaya kala. And now we focus on the solar plexus chakra. This is your fears, this is your limitations. These are the phobias that you inherited at birth. Things that held you back, things that stopped you from maybe succeeding in some of the things you would have liked to have done in your life or experienced, whether it was intellectual, as in your employment or business, whether it was emotional, in your ability to fully open your heart and receive love or fully give love. Whether it was adventures or places you wanted to go, whether it was finances and what you thought you were deserving of, whether it was your health, whether it's what you believed about certain people, certain countries, certain religions, certain cultures, things that you were taught that were not of love, that were of fear, that were of caution. Maybe it was your school teachers as well. Maybe it was other family members or people that you loved and respected. So anything that wasn't of love, we now bring the healing rays of love to release for them, for you, to be free of the fears that they inherited and you inherited. Or maybe not even realized were fears, but things that you were cautious about, or things you chose not to do. Or we bring in the light of Alishar and Ashi, the great central sunlight. We draw in the magnetic crystal energy from Mother Beloved Earth. We feel your solar plex area full of love, full of light, full of freedom. We transform burdens, obstacles into freedom. And now, my beloveds, your beautiful, beautiful hearts. You take your focus to your heart, feel your heart beating in your chest. Focus on a beautiful pink light of gentleness, and now a beautiful green light. Humanity, humility, your ability to have humility and humanity to your brothers and sisters around the world, no matter what their culture or color or religion. For the animals and the plants and Mother Earth. And for any unconscious beliefs or thoughts you've had that taken on that may have meant that in some way you have caused harm unconsciously or not been respecting, or maybe not as kind or compassionate or helpful. Maybe you ignored something or turned away from something. So we fully allow the light of the solar sun to fill your heart with love and humility and humanity to all human beings, all sentient beings, plant, mineral, animal, human. And through this, you may have memories of things that happened in your life. Maybe as a child at school, maybe in employment, even maybe with family members, discussions or debates or conflict. Maybe there was things that were happening within the government politically. Maybe you didn't help when you could have. Maybe someone didn't help you when you needed help. Your parents may not have been there for you when you were in pain or in grief or in suffering. So we bring, dear ones, light into this great heartbeat of the world, of the earth. bringing in as much light as you can. Not just coming down and coming up, but coming from all angles of your being, left and right, spiraling around from side to side. Hikana shayakala sayena himaya huna ela saye nina kurasha ilamanaye kuratai samayela soya. And now, my beloveds, just maybe looking at a difficult situation you may be in your life at the moment. Or something your family is facing, or someone close to you. And again, we call on the great light of the sun to come out through you and focus on the gift of love, the gift of peace, and offer it, invite it to that situation. We never force anything upon anybody. We invite, would you like to receive this love, this energy, this light? And I offer this to you and to all of you. Again, to breathe in, receiving as much as you can, allow. And now take your focus to your throat chakra, to your voice. And as you focus on your voice, reflecting on how you are heard in the world, how you speak, what you share, what you hold back, how you say it, and how your parents communicated to you. With love, with truth, sternly, angrily, compassionately, or silence. How do you share, my beloveds? How do you share your voice? Are there words that haven't been spoken? Is there something that your Father wishes to say to you? Is there something you wish to say to your Father? Is there regrets about things that were said or not said? Or how they were said? What about your beloved mother? And what about now in your life? Are you able to communicate with your heart, with your love? And is there a conversation that you're wanting to have with someone? Again, we bring in the light of the great central sun to illuminate wisdom, truth, with love. We bring the solar rays of light and love into your communication. Breathe a little deeper. Now we take the focus to the third eye, my beloved friends. Your communion with spirit, your communion with your wise self, your higher self, your ability to trust your intuition, to be still and to listen. There may at times have been confusion and uncertainty instead of clarity. We bring in the light into your third eye, into your higher mind, filling every little cell in your brain, your higher mind with light, the great central sun. Breathing it and allowing it to expand. These happy little cells, almost like opening windows, seeing visions, seeing further, seeing clearly. And from here we bring in light to the ancestors who may have made decisions from confusions, uncertainty. Rather than from their wisdom. We bring in light, free the ancestors, any guilt they may have held through decisions they made, from confusions, pressures, judgments, criticisms, demands, and any of those that were put upon you, dear ones. We send this out to the ethers, to the ancestors. Alaya Hunaye, Ila Hunaye, Ila Hunaye, Ila Hunaye. And now, my beloveds, we go to the crown center, your divinity, the divinity of your ancestors, their souls, the family karma, the ancestral karma. And we invite all of you, dear beloveds, with your permission, if you wish, to bring in enlightenment and freedom and joy to your ancestors, so that they may be liberated and free wherever they are from the past of what they have carried, what they have passed on to you, and for you, what you have received and may have passed on to your children or your relationships, to free you, dear ones, to take back your power so that your choices are of love, of trust, of truth, and to bring that light into every atom of your body, every little cell, fill you with light. And you may begin to see images now as you're sitting in the tree of faces coming to you, past you. Some of them you may know and some of them you might not. And seeing the ancestors now smiling, free, grateful, curious. As these images and these beings of light move past you, giving gratitude for all that you have been able to bring to them this day. And all that you've been able to bring to yourself this day and to others in your life. And allowing them to speak to you, dear ones. Some of them now are being free to move to another sphere. And as they move away, feeling deep sense of peace and gratitude. As they move away, dear ones, just feeling your own energy stretching. You begin to gather back your own energy to yourself from the depths of Mother Earth. from the heights of the great central sun to absorb as much light as you can. We give our deepest, profound gratitude for all we have received. You take a moment slowly to stand up, to step out of the tree. As you look back at the tree, you notice it is now this beautiful, brilliant, white, silvery light. And it feels like it has grown at least 20 times bigger. And we notice that some of the leaves have fallen off the tree, finally freed. A gust of light wind blows them away, and they swirl up into the light of the sun, released with love. Take your time, my dear ones, to feel the enormity of what you've done and what you're doing. Humble and gracious for this beautiful opportunity. Or as we free the wounds of the ancestors, the wounds of our ancestral experiences, then we liberate suffering for ourselves and for all the people in our lives. So this is enormous, deep, and beautiful. So we all give our profound gratitude for all of what you have done this night. Notice there may be residues for days and weeks and months to come. Keeping your eyes closed for a little longer. Breathe. Thank Gaia, beautiful Mother Earth. We thank our beautiful ancestors for the gifts and the challenges they imparted to us. We make our way slowly down the grove of trees and back to the old wooden door. And we look back and we see the tree fading into the light. Taking your time to step through the door, breathing down into your feet, breathing down into your spine, breathing into your feet and your toes and your fingers. Breathe. Slowly, when you're ready, you can bring yourself back and open your eyes. Rub your hands together. Over your eyes. Before you open your eyes and come back. Have some water, my friends. So what a big evening. Now, you may expect you might hear from some of your relatives or friends that you might not have heard from for a long time. Or you might get some news in the coming days, weeks, or months. You might learn things about your family that you didn't know. And you will know that you are a messenger. You have brought to them some healing and some peace. Remember, not all of them may be ready to release and move forward, but I would say to you that majority, at least 80%, have done so this night. So this is really good work, my beloved friends. Tonight, I invite you to come to my healing temple, because you're going to need a big rest after this day, after what you've done this evening. You know, it's an hour and a half in this dimension. It might as well be 10 lifetimes in another. So remember how many ancestors, how many lifetimes, and what you have done this evening. This is very beautiful. So come with me to my healing temple tonight. I want to take you somewhere very, very special. When you go to bed tonight, if you want to come, say, yes, I give my permission. I will bring to you a beautiful Pegasus horse that will take you off, or you can go on my magic carpet, whichever you prefer. We're going to go to the most magnificent, beautiful temple complex. It is another one that I've never taken you to yet. You see, I have many, my friends, many, many, many. I am unlimited, remember. I send you much love and blessings for a beautiful, healing, deep sleep, restful night. And may the days, weeks, and months ahead bring to you an energy of freedom and liberation and opportunities that you may have never known that you were missing. My love and blessings to you, my friends.